In the waning days of American car manufacturing, a model was born that would captivate the hearts of collectors and racing enthusiasts alike. The Studebaker Daytona carries the legacy of a company with deep roots in innovation and style, drawing inspiration from the golden era of muscle and charm. Its sleek lines and distinct badges whispered promises of performance and adventure, sparking curiosity among car lovers everywhere. In a time when bold ideas took shape in steel and chrome, the Daytona offered more than mere transportation. It delivered a unique blend of practicality and flair. This remarkable car, produced between 1959 and 1966, holds secrets in every curve and engine detail waiting to be uncovered. Prepare to journey through its storied past, exploring the craftsmanship, specifications, and enduring allure that have made the Studebaker Daytona a cherished piece of automotive history. Let us discover the mystery behind its legend together. Studebaker, a name known to many in the automotive world, began its journey long before the Daytona made its mark. Originally a manufacturer of horse-drawn wagons in South Bend, Indiana, the company later shifted to producing automobiles. Over decades, Studebaker built a reputation for quality engineering and distinctive design. The Daytona was introduced as part of the Studebaker Lark series, which had already attracted attention for its modern look and efficient design. The Daytona variant was crafted to offer a sportier edge without losing the practicality that Studebaker drivers had come to expect. Models bearing the Daytona name were produced from 1959 until 1966, with several body styles and engine options that catered to a wide range of tastes. The early Daytonas of the 1960s were available in multiple body styles, including sedans, station wagons, convertibles, and hardtops. For instance, in the year 1964, Studebaker produced 11,201 Daytonas out of a total of 36,697 vehicles. The car's design featured wide side moldings, dual headlights, and clearly marked Daytona emblems on the front fenders. Although the styling was similar across the different engine options, the six-cylinder models were distinct from the V8 versions by subtle exterior emblems such as an 8 badge on the V8 models. The body of the car was built with attention to detail, ensuring that every panel was aligned and that the lines, while simple, conveyed a sense of strength and agility. Under the hood, the engine choices reflected Studebaker's commitment to performance balanced with efficiency. The six-cylinder engine and inline design displaced 2,779 cubic centimeters, which is equivalent to 169.6 cubic inches. This engine produced 112 horsepower at 4,500 revolutions per minute, a figure that appealed to drivers who sought reliability rather than extreme power. For those who desired more performance, the V8 engine option was available. This engine displaced 4,248 cubic centimeters, or 259.2 cubic inches, and delivered 180 horsepower at the same engine speed. These figures provided adequate power for everyday driving, with the V8 models featuring additional emblems on the fenders to denote their enhanced performance. Transmission options were equally varied. Owners could choose from a 3-speed manual transmission mounted on the steering column, a 4-speed manual transmission, or an automatic option that used a floor-mounted power shift. Each choice had its own appeal, with the manual transmissions offering a more engaged driving experience and the automatic option providing ease of use in daily commuting. The mix of engine and transmission choices meant that every Studebaker Daytona could be tailored to the driver's preference. Dimensions and weight played an important role in the car's design and performance. Many of the sedan models measured about 194 inches in length, with a wheelbase of 113 inches. The front track was about 57.4 inches, while the rear track measured 56.6 inches. Different body styles carried slightly different weights. For example, some sedans weighed around 3,050 pounds, while the station wagon variants were heavier, reaching up to 3,550 pounds. Convertibles and hardtops had their own specific weight ranges, with the convertible model weighing approximately 3,090 pounds. These figures were carefully considered to maintain a balance between ride comfort and handling, ensuring that the Daytona could navigate both city streets and open highways with ease. As Studebaker moved into the mid-1960s, changes in production and design began to appear. By 1966, the company was preparing to close its doors on American manufacturing, and the final models of the Daytona were produced in Canada. In this period, the Daytona took on a new life with the introduction of the Daytona sports sedan. Produced in a limited run of 873 units, this version was built at Studebaker's plant in Hamilton, Ontario. The sports sedan was available with either a 6-cylinder engine, known as the Skybolt, or with a V8 engine. The V8 option in the sports sedan was fitted with a 283 cubic inch engine built by McKinnon Industries in St. Catharines, Ontario. This engine produced 195 horsepower at 4,800 revolutions per minute and generated a torque of 285 pound-feet. The McKinnon engine, sometimes referred to by enthusiasts as the Thunderbolt, was noted for its robust construction and unique features compared to other General Motors engines of the period. The Canadian-built 1966 sports sedan displayed a number of refinements. The exterior design carried the same basic lines as earlier Daytonas, but featured subtle updates such as revised grille designs and new badging. The sports sedan was available only as a 2-door model, and its design included a B-pillar, which differentiated it from the pillarless hardtop styles of previous years. Inside, the car offered bucket seats in the front, a bench seat in the rear, and an optional center console. The dashboard was designed with a mix of wood grain trim and a black finish, and it included a triple instrument cluster that showed essential information like fuel level, oil temperature, and speed. The combination of styling and practicality in the interior was intended to appeal to both families and individual enthusiasts. In terms of mechanical features, the 1966 Daytona sports sedan was equipped with modern amenities for its time. Front disc brakes were available as an option, with 11-inch diameter discs fitted with Dunlop Bendix calipers. The car rode on 15-inch steel wheels that were later finished with stainless steel hubcaps featuring the familiar hawk emblem. Tires were Firestone Deluxe Champion models with thin white walls, a detail that added to the car's classic look. The steering system was designed to be responsive, and the suspension featured independent front coil springs and a live rear axle supported by leaf springs. These design choices contributed to a driving experience that was both engaging and comfortable, a balance that was not always common in other cars of the period. Studebaker also paid close attention to the details that mattered to collectors and enthusiasts. The 1966 models came with a range of factory paint colors and codes that are still documented by collectors today. Some of the standard colors included Arctic White, Algonquin Green, Mount Royal Red, Niagara Blue Mist, Richelieu Blue, Timberline Turquoise, and Yellowknife Gold. In addition, variations such as Sienna Red, Strato Blue, and Moonlight Silver were available in limited numbers. These color choices were often paired with either a black or white vinyl roof, giving each car a distinctive look. Such details, down to the paint code, are of great interest to collectors who seek authenticity in restoration projects. The engine details were just as precise as the exterior design. The 6-cylinder models with their inline arrangement featured a bore of 3.0 inches and a stroke of 4.0 inches, producing 112 horsepower. Meanwhile, the V8 models had a bore of 3.6 inches and a stroke of 3.3 inches, yielding 180 horsepower. In the 1966 sports sedan, the V8 was further refined with a McKinnon engine that was built with certain unique features. Enthusiasts note that these engines had a stamped serial number, with the McKinnon blocks being painted in a matte black finish and having specific casting numbers. The Studebaker Daytona was not produced in isolation. It existed within a broader range of models that Studebaker offered during the same era. Alongside the Daytona, the Studebaker Commander and Studebaker Challenger also made their mark in the market. The Commander replaced the Regal line in 1963, while the Challenger took over from the standard line. Each model shared certain design elements, yet the Daytona stood out because of its sporty appearance and performance-oriented features. The connection between these models is clear in the use of the Lark platform, which served as a base for various iterations. While the Commander and Challenger were aimed at different segments of the market, the Daytona was crafted with a focus on drivers who desired a blend of everyday usability and a hint of performance flair. The evolution of the Daytona over the years reflects broader trends in the automotive industry during the early 1960s. In an era when car design was shifting from the ornate styles of the 1950s to the cleaner lines of the 1960s, Studebaker managed to stay true to its roots while adopting modern design cues. The aerodynamic styling of the Daytona was not only an aesthetic choice, but also served functional purposes. The long hood and short rear deck design were elements that helped balance the weight distribution and contributed to the car's handling characteristics. Such design choices, while subtle, indicate a thoughtful approach to both form and function. Performance numbers for the Daytona were modest by today's standards, yet they were competitive for the time. For instance, the V8 models were capable of accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 10 seconds, and the top speed was estimated to be in the neighborhood of 115 miles per hour. The six-cylinder models were slower, but they provided a fuel-efficient option that appealed to a broader audience. Fuel economy figures in the early 1960s were measured differently than they are today, with average miles per gallon ranging from 15 to 20, depending on the engine and driving conditions. This level of performance made the Daytona a practical choice for both daily driving and weekend cruising. Collectors today view the Studebaker Daytona with a sense of nostalgia and appreciation for its historical significance. Many of these cars have been restored to near original condition and are displayed at classic car shows and auctions across the United States and Canada. The rarity of the Daytona, particularly the 1966 sports sedan built in Canada, has driven up its value over the years. Prices for well-maintained Daytonas can range from around $10,000 for a car in need of restoration to more than $30,000 for models that are complete and original. This variation in value reflects not only the condition of the car, but also the level of interest among collectors who cherish the history and engineering of Studebaker vehicles. The Studebaker Daytona continues to be celebrated in classic car literature and at automotive events. Its design, engineering, and the circumstances surrounding its production all contribute to a narrative that is both rich and multifaceted. Car enthusiasts and historians alike appreciate that the Daytona is more than just an old car. It is a window into a time when automotive design balanced practicality with a hint of daring style. Whether viewed in a museum or on the open road, the Daytona stands as a reminder of an era when every vehicle was built with an eye toward both performance and enduring appeal.